do they have a short memory? Can they gather themselves and play a complete basketball game?
Yeah, you talk about that short memory. It's against the #1 team in the West, the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, Saturday here inside Chappie James. That Tuskegee led by as many as 10 with less than 4 minutes remaining in the ball game and just could not close things out.
It's going to come down to guard play. Let's state the obvious. Tuskegee's got to do an excellent job of protecting the basketball inside of 5 minutes. They've got shooters, they've got talent, they've got rebounders. Ball security has been an issue all season. We saw it early in the season against Morehouse. They can't have those same demons show up this evening.
Dragons of Lane College 3-17 overall in terms of play this season and 3-12 in the SIAC. Talking to Coach Taylor when they played them up in Jackson, Tennessee, he's like, Charles, you cannot be deceived by their season mark. This team is a lot better than what you see on paper. And sure enough, Tuskegee got out of there with just a 51-50 win against the Dragons of Lane College.
And also, judging by their pregame huddle, Lane's going to come into this game very loose. They have nothing to lose. They're like Leon Spinks. I got no teeth. I got nothing to lose.
So what can they do to me?
That's right. Just go out and play basketball.
Absolutely.
Tuskegee can't come out tight. They've got to really rely on the fundamentals of basketball, protect the ball, shoot the ball.
And Tuskegee really, like you said, a lot more riding on the line than the Dragons of Lane College. They're right now number 2nd in the West. But between Tuskegee and Central State and Kentucky State, they're all kind of bunched up in there. The way things working for this year's tournament, the top 4 will host at home in the first round, and the first team in each division gets a bye. So Tuskegee wants to make sure that it stays within that top 4 so that they'll be hosting here at Chappie James in first round play. Let's take a look now at the T&T starting lineups here inside the Chappie James Arena. We'll begin with the Dragons of Lane College. They'll go with Elijah Greer Dawson. Dawson is a junior from Detroit. He's averaging 15.1 points per ball game, 9th in the conference in scoring. Joining him will be Rico Sane, 2nd, the junior from Jackson, Tennessee. Sane at 11.8 points per ball game for the Dragons of Lane College. Brandon Johnson, a junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, gets to start. He averages 5.5 points per ball game. Keone Tang, the junior from Manchester, New Hampshire, 4.6 points per ball game for Tang. And rounding out the 5 for the Dragons of Lane College, it's number 24, Amir Britt. Britt, a junior from Edison, Georgia. Britt, 1.4 points per ball game and 1.6 per hour. So it's Greer, Sane, Johnson, Tang, and Britt, the 5 for the Dragons of Lane College, head coached by Harold Rayford. He's assisted by Tyron Davis, Joseph Reeves, and Frank Harris, the brain trust for the Dragons of Lane College. 3-17 overall and 3-12 in the SIAC. Now let's take a look at the T&T fireworks starting lineup for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They are 10-11 on the season and 8-7 in SIAC play. It'll be the freshman Noah Goings from Mansfield, Texas starting. Noah with 3.5 points per ball game and 3.3 assists. D.A. Pennington, the senior and captain of this team from Kansas City, Missouri. D.A. at 12.3 points per ball game and 3.6 per outing in terms of rebounding. The redshirt junior Chip Culpepper from Hoover, Alabama will start this afternoon instead of Kevin Seasbury in the lineup. He scratched from the lineup this afternoon, and Chip Culpepper, 15 blocks in the season. He leads the team. He's in the starting lineup. Rodney Walker, the junior from Decatur, Illinois, 6.4 points per ball game. Rodney with 3.1 assists per contest for Tuskegee. And rounding out the 5 for the Golden Tigers, Kasami Draper, the junior from Conyers, Georgia. Kasami with 15.8 points per ball game and leads the team with 6.5 rebounds. So it's Goins, Pennington, Culpepper, Walker, and Draper. The 5 are head coach Benji Taylor. Coach Taylor in his 6th season. Golden Tigers 10-11, 8-7 in the SIAC, 2nd in the West as they get set for basketball action, hosting the Dragons of Lane College.
It's going to be interesting to see what tempo Tuskegee decides to play on offense, Charles. Do they try to go up tempo and force the issue, or do they lay back, get into a rhythm, go more half court? It's going to be really curious to see the playing personality of this team coming off a Saturday.
One of the things that Coach Taylor is so happy about with this team is their defensive work. They are number 1 in the conference in field goal percentage defense, 3rd in the nation, number 1 in 3-point percentage defense, and 1st in the nation in that category. So similar to the women, this Golden Tigers men's club kind of feeds off of its defensive effort to kind of get the offense going. Set to begin here, action inside Chappie James. It'll be Brett jumping against Draper to get things going. Draper skies and gets the rebound. Tuskegee first to touch the basketball.
So it's interesting making the adjustment from the women's game to the men's game. This game's going to be played above the rim. The women's game is played below the rim.
No doubt, yeah.
But just as fast.
Half-court set. Walker bounces it to Pennington. They almost lost it there. Now back out to Rodney. 17 to shoot. Rodney sliding back near the mid-stripe. Got it over to Culpepper. 12 to shoot now. Goins at the foul line over to D.A. D.A. for three. Front of the iron. Thought he had it down there for Tuskegee. A tie up on the inside. Noah ties up Sane. And they're going to go to the arrow early here in the basketball over to the Dragons of Lane College.
I like the effort by Goins contesting that ball early, showing some fight.
You'll see a lot of that out of the freshman. Got a lot of fight in him. Half-court set for the Dragons now. Out front with the basketball is Tang. Tang, last time they met, 10 points and 1 rebound. Whistle there on his penetration on the inside. I think they're going to get Rodney Walker his first of the ball game. So half-court set now for the Dragons after the personal. Officials for this afternoon's ball game: Michael Cohen, Sidney Colton, and Giannis Brunel. Referee in this one, Michael Colton. To the rack and whistles on the penetration right side. Greer Dawson beat the defense down low. I think they got Noah for that personal on the inside.
Dawson saw a little daylight from the right side and just sprinted to the rack. That may be a sign of things to come, as Lane very aggressive early.
Dawson leads them from the floor, 15.1 points per ball game. He had 20 points in the ball game against Spring Hill, but they lost 99-95 over the weekend. But the last time they played in January, Greer went for 14 points and 3 rebounds against Tuskegee. And he spins the second and misses there on the second. So the Dragons with a 1-0 lead. 19 minutes left, first half. Tuskegee with the basketball.
Draper, man.
Way away from the basket this time. Now Noah pops out to get it. They go back to Draper left side. Draper inside tight. Back to Culpepper behind the arc. Double C. Missed on the shot. Draper trying to run it down in front of the Dragon bench. Can't do so. Basketball. No, it'll stay with Tuskegee. Pennington far side of the floor to inbound it. Harold Rayford, first-year head coach for the Dragons of Lane College. Questioning that call. Pennington looks to the outside and got it to Noah. Fresh 20 on the shot for TU. On the clock for the Golden Tigers. As Pennington dumps it back in the corner to Draper. Draper to the rack. Floater missed on the shot. Got his own rebound left side. Put back was partially blocked. And Pennington tapped it away, but the Dragons come away with it. Now in the backcourt, there's a tie-up. Pennington took it away. They'll go to the arrow. Good work by D.A. And the arrow gives it to Tuskegee.
Pennington perched over his man, just snatched the ball away. Thought he had full possession. Officials came in and called it just a tad early.
I like your calling on that perch, because that's how he was. He was just hovering all over that one. 18:25 left first half. Tuskegee trailing 1-0. Pennington with the basketball. Wraparound pass, Draper. Culpepper again from outside. Double C, rattled that one good for Tuskegee.
Draper with a good look, hitting the open man for the shot in rhythm.
Culpepper got that field goal. He's got a lot of work to do to make up for Seasbury's absence in the lineup. Kevin leads the team with 17 points per ball game. And down at the block, the basketball will belong to Tuskegee. Hit the top of the cylinder, so TU will have the basketball. Good start for Culpepper, though. Walker across the timeline left side. Bounce pass Draper just in front of the Lane bench. Goins pops out top of the key. Now D.A. left side, back inside Draper. Draper one-on-one on the inside against Brett. Lost it on the inside. Tang in the backcourt. He lost it momentarily. Basketball comes back to him. Rodney took it away. Now he's harassed down at the floor level.
Not unlike the women's game, as soon as Draper caught the ball, he was instantly doubled. He's got to make sure that he can recognize that double. Not when it arrives, but before it arrives. Made the kick-out pass.
Arrow will favor the Dragons this time on the tie-up. We're at 17:40 left first half action. The number 2 seed in the West, Golden Tigers, hosting the 7th seed, Dragons of Lane College. And interestingly enough, on the west side of the SIAC on the men's side, since there are odd number of teams, that playoff bracket we were talking about early on, floater inside the paint is good by Johnson. But if you're finishing 7th in the SIAC in the West, you don't get a chance to be in a play-in ball game. Johnson with his first field goal. Whistles in a half-court set.
contacted by Brandon Johnson, who was defending all the way out to the midcourt line. Got a bump, got the foul.
Tied at 3. Goins with it out front for TU. Over to Rodney. He'll backpedal near us. 11 to shoot between the two defenders. Rodney slided across the floor in traffic and he threw the basketball away. Dragons back the other way now with the basketball. Greer Dawson at the block. There's a Yellowwood block shot inside the paint by Noah Goins, leading to a run out. The basketball thrown away by RJ again. Back-to-back turnovers for him. Dragons come back the other way. Greer Dawson just in front of the TU bench. So Rodney with back-to-back turnovers on passes. Dragons with it in the corner. Britt fires a three-pointer. Air ball by him. Rebound to Tuskegee. Pennington back the other way for TU now. 6:17 left in the first. BA doubled out front. Slides right side. Got space. Jumper. Missed on the shot. Rebound corralled inside by Britt for the Dragons.
Lane is quick with their double teams. Tuskegee's got to recognize.
Dawson foul on extended line drive shot by him is off the mark. Walker had a hand on it. 3 Golden Tigers have hands on it. Walker finally comes away with it. Culpepper had a hand. Pennington had a hand on the ball as well. 15:49 left first half. Walker had it tapped from behind. Goins up to Pennington. 15 to shoot. Trying to get it to Draper, but he squared up nicely down defensively. 11 to shoot. Rodney at 7, sails back at the tee over to Pennington. He'll have to take the deep 3. No problem to VA. Knocked that down from way outside.
Amir Britt had Draper in jail as he's trying to get space in the paint. That's going to be a matchup to watch inside.
Tang with the basketball now for the Dragons. Tuskegee with a 6-3 lead. Tang for 3, and he answers with his own bomb from outside. Ties it at 6 each. After that 3-point shot.
Lane likes to bring the overplay off the double team.
Draper, half-court set for Tuskegee. Walker with it in the corner, bounces up to Culpepper. Tied at 6. He tried to dump it inside and throw the basketball away, forcing something that's not there. Back the other way, Greer Dawson. He's fouled by Culpepper near the free throw line.
So what Lane is interestingly doing, Charles, is bringing that weak side defender quickly. As soon as Tuskegee makes that catch in the paint, they've got to be aware that that double's coming from the blind side.
Turnover there, back the other way. Timeout on the floor now. 14:47 remains first half. We're tied at 6. More basketball ahead on GTSN.
Broadcast coverage of Tuskegee Athletics on the Golden Tiger Sports Network is brought to you by Alabama Department of Public Health. Healthy people, healthy communities. Healthy Alabama. Booster Digital Displays, dedicated to providing high-quality, affordable LED displays with exceptional service. TNT Fireworks, celebrating more than 100 years of America's #1 best-selling brand of fireworks. Alabama Power, developed for the service of Alabama. Wind Creek Casino, Montgomery. Elevate your game to fabulous. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Coca-Cola, real magic. Zuby's Taco Kitchen, Yellowwood. And by Vibes Restaurant, we're all about good vibes. Utilities Board of Tuskegee.
One of those is back in this tie for Tuskegee. Pennington found the net for Tuskegee to tie it at 6 each. 14:47 left first half. Tuskegee on defense now as the Dragons have it in a half-court set. They work it across the floor, Sane left side. Tuskegee's dropped into his own defense now. Greer Dawson behind the arc right side, sliding his way in, pushing Culpepper toward the cylinder. They finally try to trap him there. Cambridge came backside. Dillon with some good defensive work. Basketball squirts out of bounds. It'll stay with Lane. They'll have 10 to shoot.
Dawson's got an interesting game. He's got the ball on a string. Doesn't force the action much. He's very poised off the handle.
Entry pass on the inside. They got it to Johnson. He's tied up immediately. 6 to shoot for the Dragons now. Culpepper traps him on the inside and a travel violation. Good defensive work by TU to converge there in the middle.
He was tripping.
No.
Tuskegee gets the turnover. They'd be wise to see if they can get into a nice half-court set, 6-6 early in this first half.
The junior, Rodney Walker Jr., got it across the timeline with a pass to Pennington left side. D.A. slides back to his right, picked up defensively out front there by Amir Brett. Draper with a screen. Top of the key, Culpepper. Chip on the move left side. In the paint, whistles, and there'll be a foul called on the inside.
So you know basketball is a game of making the extra pass. Tuskegee's got to be patient enough to go away from too much one-on-one play, make the extra pass to the open man. They're getting some good looks, but you've got to get people moving off the ball.
Culpepper moves to the free throw line to shoot here after he was fouled inside the paint, and he got the first free throw for Tuskegee.
And when I say good looks, Charles, that means give up a good shot for a better shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Culpepper missed on the second, but the rebound comes clear to Pennington in the corner. Tuskegee with another chance here with a fresh 20 on the clock to lead 7-6. Walker, right corner, Culpepper. Chip looking to the inside, trying to get it to Draper. They go across the floor instead, Pennington.
There's a double.
There's the triple. That one's creased the rim there. Rebound cleared by the Dragons. Got to run out back on the other end of the floor. Johnson with the lay in for Lane.
Lane does an excellent job of disguising that double, bringing it really late, and Tuskegee's just a little bit slow in recognizing it.
Dragons lead 8-7. Tuskegee with it in a half-court set. Dylan Cambridge trying to fight for some position on the inside. He'll come out and screen instead for Walker. Culpepper behind the arc. And a foul called on the inside.
It's a slick double because you saw in that previous play as Tuskegee was trying to rotate the ball to the other side. They didn't bring heavy pressure, but they had a second player there in position for a deflection.
They called that foul on Dylan Cambridge. I thought it was going to go against Draper, but no foul on him. So Dylan picks up that person. That's his first. Half-court set for the Dragons. They have a 1-point lead. Coming off the turn, they drop it down low, and now Draper will get his first personal.
Tyler Austin into the game for Tuskegee, a name we haven't called a lot so far. You may have called it on radio, but I haven't called the name Austin Taylor.
Austin is the son of head coach Benchy Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah, but he gets in. He's a good, solid defensive player for Tuskegee. There's a yellow block at the baseline there by Dylan Cambridge. You'll get a chance to see some of his game here. Good, solid passer. As he works it in the corner to Cambridge, Dylan to the rack, and a whistle down low.
Well, if anything, you know those coaches' sons will have fundamentals.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he hit a big three-pointer in one of our last ball games here at home that really turned the tide for Tuskegee. And Coach Taylor, in true form after the ball game, said, "Yeah, he's a Taylor. He'll do what he's got to do." And he did in that ball game. It's been steady for Tuskegee throughout the season. 12:50 remains first half. Tuskegee trailing at 8-7 to the Dragons of Lane College.
Noticing the players seated on the Tuskegee sideline. A lot of players going to the towel. We talked about the temperature, Chappie James, being a little bit higher than normal. So would be surprised to see the men use the same philosophy that the women did, try to get a lot of substitutions in, especially to help that defensive effort.
Golden Tigers right now 2 of 8 shooting from the floor at 25%, 3 of 8 shooting for the Dragons of Lane College. Each team, well, 1 3-point basket for the Dragons and 2 Vibe Restaurant 3-point baskets for Tuskegee. Rebounding edge belongs to Tuskegee at 9-4 early in this basketball game.
We're at that strange time of year, Charles, where it's not quite spring, but you can get some 60-degree days that can throw the HVAC system off.
Indeed. Yeah, I have a friend that works for the county, Fulton County, in the HVAC area. And he says once the season turns from one to another, they are awfully busy, whether it's going from summer months to the winter where they got to get everything as winterized and then back the other way for the summer.
Sure.
Cambridge missed on the front end of 2. One more coming.
I just know I wouldn't want to have the job of changing the filters at Chappie James. That's got to be a job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cavernous up here. And Cambridge not able to convert on either of the free throws here for Tuskegee. Nice arena here at Tuskegee. Has all the potential in the world. 9-8 Tuskegee leads with 12:50 remaining in this first half of play. SIAC action for Chappie James on the campus of Tuskegee University. Dragons across the floor now. The Greer Dawson inside the paint, pushes down in the corner to Tang. Back out front for three is Sane knocks that down for the Dragons.
Credit the pass by Dawson off the dribble to the corner that set up that last wide open jumper.
Indeed, that extra pass by the Dragons did exactly what you talk about. Give up one shot for a better one. 11-9 Dragons lead. Tuskegee with the basketball. Right side or left side. Draper with it just in front of the Dragon bench. Goins pops out with the basketball up top. Draper fighting for position. They try to bounce it down at the block. He lost it momentarily. Now trying to get it off of one of the Dragons on the inside.
Draper got inside. They were just a little bit late in recognizing him. About a second off the timing because he had position inside.
Yeah, you have to recognize that, though. If it's not there when you saw it, there's no harm in pulling back out and trying to reset it. There, that pass was forced so tight on a bounce pass inside. Draper doubled immediately at the block. Tuskegee lucky to have the basketball back. Taylor looks to the inside, got it to Draper one-on-one. Draper at the right side. Line drive jumper by Draper is good.
Draper posting and toasting inside.
12 minutes left in first half. Tang with it in the backcourt. Dawson across the timeline now. Tied at 11. Greer in the corner on the move with the basketball out on the floor. Table Brown now inside the paint, hop step with the left hand shot. That one's off the mark by Britt. He'll fight for the rebound. Missed on a second effort there. And finally at the block, Tuskegee takes it away. Culpepper had it at the base, and TU will have the basketball.
Britt made an outstanding move off, as you mentioned, off the hop step. Got it up with the left hand, but just off target.
Timeout on the floor here inside Chappie James. 11:31 remaining, and the team's tied at 11. Something I can go to the lottery with on that. We'll take a break on GTSN.
For 5-star Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Tuskegee Nation, I'm Reginald Ruffin, Director of Athletics, and this is the Golden Tiger Sports Network.
Always good to have the AD on air whenever we can get a chance to him. Had a chance to double team him here today at the interview just before the start of this ball game. But the right leader at the right time for Tuskegee Athletics.
AD Ruffin handles those promos like he's done this before. Very comfortable behind the mic.
Yeah, when we shot that stuff, we shot it over the summer. And after he took his take, the one take, and got it done.
He did it in one take.
All challenging the rest of the staff.
Yeah. That's impressive. That's impressive. I've worked with professional actors that take 10 takes.
Sure. Walker across the timeline now for Tuskegee. We're tied at 11. Bounce pass, Noah Goins out front, left side behind the arc. Now Draper handles up top. On a weave, Taylor, and the basketball's tapped out of bounds off for R.J. Walker, and the basketball over to the Dragons.
Very active hands by Rico Sane the second for Lane on defense right in front of their bench.
Yeah. Tuskegee with that pass so tight, they enabled the sideline to become an extra defender for the Dragons, and they get the basketball back as a result. Up top now, Greer Dawson squares for three, looks at it, back of the iron. Taylor with a rebound for Tuskegee. And Ostin across the timeline now, works middle of the floor, slides all the way through left side, right in between the rickets of Noah Goins, left side.
If you're going to throw the bounce pass, you've got to make sure the bounce is in the right spot. That time, the bounce hit right between Goins' legs.
Sure.
When you get a player who's 6'4", 6'5", as Goins is, you're making him work extra hard to bend down that far.
Absolutely. You want that basketball bouncing right about chest high, a little bit lower belly waist for the player. Half court set for the Dragons. We're still tied at 11. We go to 10:35 in the first half of play. Sane with it out front. Hit a big three-pointer his last trip down the floor. Now he's doubled at the sideline. 11 to shoot for the Dragons. Out front with it is Britt. Britt spins in the paint. Right-hand hook shot by Britt is off the mark. It's tapped around. Rebound Draper and Tuskegee.
Second time we've seen Britt use his hops to get space, just not able to finish.
Draper trying to finish on the inside, and he does with Tuskegee. Draper knew exactly where he wanted to be on the floor there, a little bit to his right, got the space, and that running hook is good.
Draper does an excellent job of understanding where he is on the floor when his back is to the basket. Turned, found the hoop, and made the hoop.
Tang out front for the Dragons now. Tuskegee by a field goal. We're at 9:50 left first half. Jumper outside Sane. Sane rattled that one, thought it was down, but he missed. Rebound to Bryce Cummings, who's just on the floor. Cummings, the junior from Tallahassee, Florida.
Sane almost drew rain.
Oh, yeah. Walker, floater, right side, back of the iron by him. Rebound to the Dragons, and they come back the other way. Tang, push it down in the corner for three. Tabor Brown knocks down one for the Dragons.
Open look from the corner. Lane did an excellent job of finding the open man.
Dragons lead 14-13. Draper with it, half court set. Noah, right side, RJ. Pennington back out on the floor. Rainbow three by DA. Count it for TU. He'll hit that all day long. You give him that kind of space. Back-to-back three-pointers for DeAnthony Pennington for the Golden Tigers. They get the lead back 16-14. Half-court set, Pennington anticipating and got a steal there. DA got an easy flush for Tuskegee. Yellowwood or Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break lay-in for DeAnthony Pennington and the steal.
When a man is hot getting the ball, Pennington says, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Open up the door, I'll get it myself.
And he got it and took it and got that dunk for Tuskegee. 18-14, jump shot off the mark there by Brown.
Find him again. Coming down the left side.
Out front, Goings trying to get over that way. Still near the mid-stripe, pushes inside. Draper behind the defense. And an Alabama power points in the paint there by Sami Draper with the stuff for Tuskegee.
When Draper gets positioned quickly inside, he's an excellent finisher. He's got to not tip inside, just dart inside.
Sane tied up on the inside. They get the basketball to Dawson. Now back up top is Brown. 15 to shoot for Lane. We're at 7:53 left first half. Brown fires another three-pointer, shot another air ball.
That's a lot of dribbling to lead into an air ball.
Sure, no doubt.
And he hears it from the crowd.
Come to a media timeout here inside Chappie James. Tuskegee with a 20-14 lead over the Dragons of Lane College. 7:49 left first half. Back with more basketball, we promise, after this timeout. Set for the Golden Tigers. Take a look at the work here. They got the defense so far out. Draper behind that defense got an easy Alabama power point in the paint there with a flush.
Nice setup by RJ. Like to see Draper getting involved on the offense. He has the footwork. He's poised. Good handle. Get him the ball where he can operate.
20-14, Tuskegee leading it with 7:49 left in this first half. Teams met back on the 27th of January. Tuskegee won that one in a close one at the JF Lane Gymnasium, 51-50.
Tyshawn Boyce in for Tuskegee. He'll be operating inside in place of Draper.
Here, the sophomore from Long Island, and a throwaway there, back the other way. Golden, the Dragons get an easy dunk down on the other side of the floor after a turnover by Tuskegee. So Greer with a dunk there. He's got 3 in the first half. Walker out front for Tuskegee. The lead is 4 for TU. Walker lead behind Goins. Foul line extended. Over to Pennington. Out behind the arc. Greer comes out defensively for the Dragons. They tap it and take it away from Pennington. 2-on-1. Greer back the other way. And he's fouled. Walker catching up with that play. Basket's going to be good by Greer.
Elijah Greer Dawson is a blur with the ball in his hands. Second time down the court. Gets to the rack. Very acrobatic finish. Nice touch. He goes to the line.
He leads the team in points at 15.1 average for him on the season. Leads them in steals with 2.2 and leads them from the free throw line as well.
Charles, there are some players that just wear their bodies well. You can tell that they're under control with their movements, nothing herky-jerky, very fluid in his action to the rack.
Absolutely. You talked about that earlier. He shows that. Got the free throw as well for the Dragons of Lane College. And Tuskegee lead cut now to 1, 2019. Walker in the backcourt. He'll be picked up by Damari Wallace, the freshman who just got on the floor. Culpepper handles out front. He's back out. Cummings left side. Tried to bounce it inside the Noah. And a foul called in there on Elijah Greer-Dawson.
Goins is going to get his reps to start posting some complaints about some of these low bounce passes around his ankles.
Yeah, they're trying to slide him in there real low. And as you reference, that's danger for the taller players on the inside. Culpepper out front, lost his dribble, trying to get it to Boyce. They call a foul on the inside on Martrice Mitchell. Mitchell, the junior from Chicago, with his first personal. Tuskegee will inbound it. Rodney Walker set to do that right of the cylinder. Looks to the inside, got Boyce on a bounce pass. Amir spins the paint, right-handed hook by Amir, missed on the shot. He fights for the rebound, got it on the inside. Great hustle there by Amir for Tuskegee, and he will be going in the line to shoot.
Nice work inside. Didn't get the first, got his own rebound, went up strong with it, picks up the foul. Now the challenge is make your free throws. Look at the battle inside. Scuffling with his own player, getting up that last playground shot.
No friends in the trenches, huh?
I don't know you, you don't know me. I just want the ball.
Boyce to the line to shoot Tuskegee. I'll have 2 coming his way. Amir, 52% from the free throw line. 13 points, 2 rebounds in the tough loss to the Golden Bears of Miles College on Saturday.
The officials with a little bit of a uniform check with Martrice Mitchell, 6'11". His jersey was hanging out of his shorts, so the official went over and said, son, we have a dress code here. Tighten it up.
Tighten up. All right. Did he do it?
He did it.
He's still on the floor. Boyce with that first free throw. First points of the ball game for him.
You know, bring those players off the bench, even at 6'11", they're not used to coming in with the dress code.
Yeah, sure.
Totally appropriate.
Yeah, totally enforced, right?
Sitting on the bench too long.
Just want to be comfortable over there, right? Amir got them both from the line. Tuskegee leads 22-18. We're at 6:34 left, first half. Pretty quick moving first 20 minutes of basketball. Out front, Wallace works it across the floor. Now Greer handles. Culpepper, the defensive specialist for Tuskegee, handling Dawson. That side of the zone. 10 to shoot now for the Dragons. Bounce pass inside. That one's blocked by Culpepper with his right knee. It'll stay with the Dragons, but they only have 5 to shoot. Christopher Matthews, the junior from Little Rock, will inbound the basketball for the Dragons. Pushes it to Greer. Dawson got some time. Oh, wow. Bryce Cummings bailing him out on that penetration right side.
Greer Dawson has some Jameis Winston in him. You can see him talking to himself while the ball's in play. He's got some really interesting facial expressions. Really engaged in a very theatric way with the basketball.
Greer Dawson at the line to shoot. Spinner missed on the front end of the 1-and-1. Tuskegee with the basketball. They got a break there because Cummings fouled him, put him to the line. Walker across the floor now to Amir. Boyce surveys, gives to Noah. They'll work it left into the front of the bench for the Dragons. They're trying to get it inside and off of the leg of Boyce. Basketball over the lane. Draper was set to check in next dead ball. He'll get a chance to come in here now with 5:54 remaining in this first half.
6'11" Martrice Mitchell for Lane is causing some issues for Tuskegee just with his length.
Wallace over to Greer Dawson. Down at the block, they push it all the way back out. Down in the corner trying to get it to Matthews. Walker tapped it out of bounds for Tuskegee. 16 to shoot for the Dragons. 5:39 remains first half.
Now, what's interesting, he got caught, Mitchell caught Goins in a switch at 6'4". That's a mismatch. He didn't take advantage of it, pass to the other side, but they may be filing that one for future use if Goins picks up the big man.
Yeah, he was down there, and as you referenced, right at the block and open. Out front, pass deflected by Rodney. He'll try to run it down, but Wallace beat him to it. Back the other way, another three-point offering. This one's left at the front of the cylinder. Basketball tapped to Mitchell. Down low, Matthews, and Matthews got the lay-in.
Two players were there for Tuskegee. Both seemed to box one another out.
Yeah. Walker back the other way underneath the defense, and somehow RJ got that to the cylinder for a basket.
Tough play, driving in on two players.
That's his first field goal of the ball game. 5:10 remains first half. Tuskegee with a 24-21 lead. Wallace, right side with the pass to Brown. Down in the corner, leaning back with the jumper. That one's off the mark inside by Matrice Mitchell. Culpepper got the rebound. Walker, quick step for Tuskegee. Bumped right side, no call. Head faked under the defense. Back to Cummings outside. Bryce at the block. Noah, short jumper corner. Back of the iron on the shot there. Rebound to Mitchell and the Dragons.
Goins got a good look, just wasn't able to finish.
4:40 left. Basketball tapped around, almost thrown away. Dragons keep it there into the floor.
Game has picked up pace all of a sudden.
Yeah. Greer Dawson, foul line extended. Had to change his shot. Got it over to Mitchell. Mitchell missed there. Culpepper clears for TU.
Mitchell would be better served to see if he can do more operating in the block as opposed to hoisting up jumpers.
Draper away from the basket out front. So is Noah with the basketball up top. Now Cummings pops out the left side. Looking to the inside to Draper. They double him immediately in the corner. Draper trying to dribble out of that. Got it back to Rodney. Now 7 to shoot. Goins at the foul line. Has to hurry up top and throw the basketball away.
Nice catch.
Goins, not necessarily a shooter for Tuskegee away from the basket. Had a free look there. Opted to try to pass it out of that and threw the basketball out of bounds.
One of the Tuskegee fans very alert as the ball was coming right here. Picked it up off the bounce.
I saw you about to panic and duck up under the table here.
I was ready to catch it and shoot
it. Yeah, right. With your hand up above the table. Did I get it? Did I get it? Media timeout. Tuskegee leads 24-21. Take a break here.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Back live here inside Chappie. James for the Golden Tigers there, 8 of 17 shooting at 47%. Dragons at 8 of 23 at 35%. Each team with three-point baskets from the free throw line. 5 of 8 for the Golden Tigers, 2 of 4 for the Dragons of Lane College. After the timeout, Dragons will have the basketball. Rico Singh, the junior from Jackson, Tennessee. We'll give it up left side to Dawson. I know you talked to A.D. Ruffin about Jackson State being added to the Tuskegee football schedule next year. That's going to be a fun ball game to do on GTSN.
That should be a fun one indeed. Memorial Stadium seats 55,000.
Yeah, they'll be there too. Walker inside the paint just had it taken away from him and he's sliding on the floor. Greer slides right side to the rack, reverse lay-in. Wow, you talk about body control. Greer sliding across the paint, trying a reverse lay-in from the left. And almost got that to fall. Took a shot.
It's not just the fact that he was working from left to right, but he had enough elevation and presence to almost spin that ball in from the odd side of the backboard.
The junior from Detroit missed on the first.
Well, that explains it, bringing some of that Motown flavor to Chappie James.
Oh, yeah.
Seems a bit winded as he took contact, seemed trying to gather himself at the free throw line.
For the second, and he got that to fall. Got him with 7 in this first half of play for the Dragons of Lane College. Tuskegee with a 24-22 lead. Pennington back on the floor. Left side to Culpepper. Chip trying to get it inside to Draper, goes up at the foul line instead to Cambridge. Now they get it to Draper, left block. Draper with a hook shot, front of the cylinder on that, left it short. Dragons push back the other way. Brown with it, up top to Greer Dawson. Jumper over RJ and knocked it down for the Dragons. He saw the mismatch there with RJ guarding and just went and jumped, elevated right out of his defense.
I don't like to make comparisons, but Greer Dawson reminds me of a Detroit Piston named Dave Bing, who had similar body control in the air.
I remember Dave, one of my favorites. Pennington, rainbow three, back of the iron. Long rebound, clear by Brown and the Dragons. They can go up with a basket this trip down the floor. 2:30 left first half. In the corner, Greer Dawson on the move now. Working it inside the paint. Just one-on-one basketball there. Bounce pass. Brown with it. Slides back inside the paint and back out. Matthews takes a chance. Jumper. Sane from out front, and he knocked it down for the Dragons. That's his second three-pointer of the ball game. The Dragons take a 27-24 lead with 2:05 left.
We've got a ball game. Two well-coached teams going neck and neck. Under 2 minutes.
Pennington had it stripped from him out front, and back away comes Greer. He'll try to play. Wanted to see if he couldn't get Culpepper suckered into a foul on that play. But Dawson able to finish with a flush here inside Chappie James.
Greer Dawson with the flush and the stare after the hang on the rim.
Minute 40 left now. Lead is 5 by the Dragons. Walker out front for TU. They'll double him near the free throw line. Almost lost it. Now had it tapped around, and a foul call there near the Dragon bench.
The double team for Lane has been giving Tuskegee trouble all night. Even when they've completed passes, they've been out of sync. They've got to be just quicker with the recognition.
Pennington out front. A minute 26 left in the first half.
There he is.
Culpepper tried to dump it down low, and it was partially deflected and taken away by the Dragons at Lane College. They lead 29-24, half-court set. Greer Dawson and the Dragons take a timeout here.
When Tuskegee, about that. When they had Draper, they just didn't have the handle on the ball to hit him in stride.
Yeah, Tuskegee, as you referenced, a little bit ruffled by that Dragon full court press and then a half-court pressure as well. That time, just trying to get it inside, and that's partially deflected by the Dragons, and they take advantage of it.
So you have my sincere apology. I know you've been doing radio games solo. So to do video games with someone sitting to your right, that's got to be a hell of an adjustment.
Well, you know how long we've been doing sporting events. No adjustment at all. It's like a couple of coins in your pocket.
Well, I appreciate your patience.
A minute 11 remaining here in this first half of play. Tuskegee trailing 29-24 to the Dragons of Lane College. 22nd meeting between these teams between 2013 and 2024. Tuskegee with a slight lead in the series, 11-10.
How does the complexion of this game compare with the game that was played at Lane?
I'm glad you asked that. Pretty close. Absolutely. The same tight tempo that we saw at JF Lane, same thing we're seeing here. This team in the Dragons, that's the level, that's the pace they like to play at. And Tuskegee trying to answer that as well. Greer Dawson trying to get some space. Julian Watson out on the floor for Tuskegee to throw it away. Pennington in the backcourt trying to start a break, but has to settle and get it in the front court on the dribble. Up top, Julian in the corner, Cambridge. Dillon underneath the defense, and he'll be fouled and headed to the line for Tuskegee.
Cambridge running baseline as if he had thoughts of dunking that with two hands as he rose up. Fortunately, he gets the foul call. I don't know if we have the replay on it. Watch how strong he goes and how far away he is from the hoop. He's right there. Got hit. A valiant attempt on the baseline.
Greer Dawson picks up his second personal. And Dillon missing on that first free throw from the line for Tuskegee. Last time these teams played, Tuskegee shot 48% from the floor in that ball game. Lane shot 29%, yet it was still a 1-point difference in terms of the win. Where it really changed in terms of the tide as Cambridge misses them both from the free throw line. 26 turnovers. Lane had 9 in that ball game, but still able to keep it close. But Tuskegee with that was able to take advantage and get the win. Basket on the other end of the floor for the Dragons. They extend their lead before the break to 31-24.
Big 6'11" Martise Mitchell with the fluid move inside, switching hands.
Pennington seemingly content to try to play it down for the final shot of the first half. Looks like they end up to have time left at 5, 2 for 1. But they waited late to go for this one in this sequence. Out front, basketball kicked by Sane to stay with TU with 5.8 seconds left. Trey Crawford being inserted into the lineup now. He'll replace Cambridge. Crawford, better shooter than Cambridge, and that's why Coach Taylor has gone with Trey. Christopher Whitmore out on the floor as well. He is a three-point specialist. They may try to run at him. They're going to go right side instead. And whistles. There's something there maybe with the clock, not what's going on the floor. 5.3 seconds left showing on the scoreboard clocks, and 5.2 on the clock above the cylinder on either end of the floor.
The officials huddle up right above the three-point line to sort out this time discrepancy, but give credit to Lane for changing the complexion of this ball game within the last 5 minutes, jumping out to this 7-point lead.
And can't help but think the problem is that Tuskegee just turning the basketball over in the last few minutes of the ball game. They got that pressure defense from the Dragons. They just did not have an answer for it here. 3.9 seconds left is what they're going to put on the clock. And Tuskegee will have it trailing at 31-24 to the Dragons. Tuskegee really wants to get this field goal before they go into the intermission, at least to have something positive to take into that locker room.
At least get a good look, because they've got to be thinking that we've played this team with a lead, played them even, and all of a sudden we look up. The pressure that they put on just in the last 5 minutes has changed. It's just flipped the game.
Take a look at the standings in the SIAC. We'll start on the eastern side. That's where the biggest competition is, and those top 3 teams bunched up over there in the east: Edward's, Albany State, and Clark Atlanta. It'll depend how they finish the season as who comes out on top there. Morehouse, Fort Valley, Savannah State, Benedict, and Allen. And then on the west, Tuskegee behind Miles on the west side of the ledger. Tuskegee followed by Central State and Kentucky State, Spring Hill, Lemoyne, and this club, the Dragons of Lane College. Watson dumps it in play and threw the basketball away. My, oh my. So Tuskegee, with the timeout, had something drawn up that they wanted to get to, but not able to get the entry pass in. And the basketball not able to go toward the cylinder because it got it tied up on the entry pass. So at the break, Tuskegee trails 31-24 to the Dragons of Lane College. We'll step out now. When you be joined back, you'll have a chapter chat. We'll be talking to Kimberly Bilbrew, the Los Angeles chapter president of the Tuskegee Club. Stay with us on GTSN. And welcome back, everybody, on the Golden Tigers Sports Network. Our continuing coverage of Golden Tigers athletics continue. And we're live in the halftime. Chance for us to enter one of our favorite segments of our halftime show. We call it Chapter Chat. The presidents of the various alumni chapters across the country. Join now a special guest out on the West Coast by Kristen Trigg of the Bay Area Tuskegee Alumni Club. Kristen, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem. It's an honor.
Have you here and with our coverage content Golden Tigers basketball, and you are the president of the Bay Area chapter. As president, let's give a chance for us to meet you and talk a little bit about your background and your experience at Tuskegee.
Yes. So I graduated from Tuskegee in 2015. So this year is definitely a special year. It's my 10th year at this upcoming homecoming. So super excited about that. Majored in sales and marketing at Tuskegee, and worked in professional sports right after. So on the business side, so I was with the Suns and the Mercury. Followed by that, had an opportunity to join the 49ers on their premium sales team, and decided to go to business school to continue that same track to get my MBA. So I came to Cal for my MBA, and now I have the pleasure of actually still working in athletics, but on the collegiate level. So I'm sure you may have heard of the term NIL, name, image,
Oh,
likeness.
yeah.
And I lead that for Cal women's basketball. And That's a little bit about me. Also born and raised in the Bay Area, so it's great to be home.
Share that with us and talk a little bit about your experience at Morehouse as a student there. What kind of really sticks out in your mind about that Tuskegee experience for you, because it's parlayed into you now providing service to Mother Tuskegee as an alumni president.
Oh, my Tuskegee experience was 1,000 out of 10. I think stepping away and getting away from home was extremely important for me. And stepping on Tuskegee's campus and being around so many students who are doing great things, leading projects and focus, and also all while balancing fun at Tuskegee was a really great experience. I think Tuskegee really taught me how was the foundation of me stepping out of my comfort zone and being a leader. And a lot of the professors and the teachers who really had my back are the reasons why I am where I am today. Huge shout out to Miss Tiombi Jones. She was my business orientation professor, who had a profound impact on my life, and we're still connected to this day. And I think that really speaks to a lot of the relationships that you gain while you're at Tuskegee. The professors look out for you, they nurture you. And I think that is what has encouraged me to want to get more students to our university.
And you're talking about your experience at Tuskegee and how much of a benefit it was for you. Who to Tuskegee? You said you were from the Bay or the Bay Area. What from that connection out west? We have students at Tuskegee from across the world. From your particular vantage point, and you deciding on Tuskegee, what led you to Tuskegee?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people ask me that, especially being from the Bay Area. I was a part of a nonprofit. It's called the Young Scholars Program, and this organization is dedicated to helping youth in underserved communities um, re- earn their way to college. And then also a big piece of the program is the HBCU tour. So I attended the HBCU tour my junior and senior year of high school, and uh, fell in love with Tuskegee as soon as I got on campus. Um, I think the history of Tuskegee, the shoulders that the students are on top of the giants that really led and trailblazed the history of Tuskegee, it really stood out to me. It felt like a family environment, and so I think my junior year, I will say I was already decided. Um, when we went to the bookstore before getting back on the bus to head to Morehouse, actually, I had maybe about 4 or 5 Tuskegee items that I brought on with me, and everyone on the bus was like, "Oh, we know where you're going. We know where you're going." And so I think that was really coming on campus and experiencing it and really feeling the essence of being in Tuskegee. Really, um, it helped me gravitate toward it.
Got through matriculating at Tuskegee, talked about your post studies as it relates to obtaining a master's, and now as chapter president out in the Bay Area. Talk a little bit about the chapter. I know that it started in the early 1980s, I believe, and went the active. Talk a little bit about the chapter itself, revitalization you all have been engaged with out there in the Bay Area.
Yeah, so it was actually, yeah, it was reactivated in 2013 by Dr. Sandra Redmond, who was a huge supporter and donor to Tuskegee. And as soon as I got back to the Bay Area in 2015, I immediately got involved. And Dr. Redmond, she was not shy about providing me some leadership opportunities. I was definitely leading projects like our Off Tuskegee event, where we welcome freshmen and host an event to send them off to Tuskegee with a book award, and kind of welcome them to some of the alum in the area. Also, the holiday party is another big one. And so I was involved before becoming the president. I served whew, a good 5 to 6 years, and Dr. Redmond decided to pass the torch on to me. And I was reluctant at first, but I'll tell you one thing about Dr. Redmond. She's a really good seller, because I was on my way into grad school as she was asking me this. And so I'm like, you set the bar really high, Dr. Redmond. I don't know if I'm ready just yet, but I decided to take it on and continue the legacy. And she has been a great advisor, and also still supports the club very well. Our club has given over $40,000 in scholarships to Tuskegee students, whether that be through emergency aid or via our official scholarship. We are definitely in the community recruiting students. This Saturday is actually one of our biggest recruitment events, the Black College Expo, which is actually the event where I initially applied to Tuskegee. And so it draws thousands of local students here in the Bay Area to come out and apply for admissions to various HBCUs. And I love it because here on the West Coast, we're not exposed to HBCU culture as much. So it's great to be able to lead and be a part of that. I will say we are a small but a very mighty alumni club here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I saw some of your numbers, and you're right. Sometimes it does about the total amount with the group. It's just the impact that group has. We take our hats off to
Things.
you and the Bay Area chapter for being relates to alumni support. And you talk about things that just kind of go full circle in life. You were talking about your exposure to the expo as to how you got to Tuskegee. And you mentioned a few minutes ago, one of the choices that you had at deciding where to go was perhaps Morehouse College. And reasons that we wanted to make sure you on during this segment, that's just because we have a pretty big event coming out there on the West Coast here in the next
Mhm.
2 weeks that will involve Tuskegee and and your chapter is at the very center of that event that's taking place. A lot of us already know that we're there, have been invited, both schools as a part of the All-Star Weekend, and both participating in the HBCU Classic out there. Let's talk about the Bay
Yes.
Area chapter's involvement as it relates to getting ready for Tuskegee to come out west.
Yes. So first off, we are extremely excited to have Tuskegee family coming to the Bay Area. I can't remember a time where Tuskegee alum were coming for one particular reason to the West Coast, particularly the Bay Area. So we are extremely excited, and we wanted to make sure that this weekend is special, especially since a lot of our alum are coming from across the country to the West Coast. So we are partnering with the Tuskegee National Alumni Association to host um, a Saturday night NBA All Star Watch Party. So, as we know, the game begins at 2 o'clock, should be over around 5 o'clock, and that's where your NBA All Star festivities typically begin on that weekend. So your dunk contest, your 3-point shootout, we wanted to make sure that we connected with alum while they're here. So we're hosting watch party in collaboration with the Tuskegee National Alumni Association here downtown in Oakland at 6 o'clock that evening after the game. And this will be an opportunity for you to come out, network, meet various other HBCU alum who live in the Bay Area. We'll have music, great food. It's just going to be an evening to have a great time, and all of the proceeds are going to go to our Bay Area Tuskegee Scholarship Fund. And this is a fund that we use to help with emergency aid. Maybe there's students who may need to pay off a small amount on their balance while they're at Tuskegee, or they need help in other ways financially. That's what the scholarship fund is there for. And so it's going to be a great evening to have a good time. There won't be any pressure to like donate or anything, although we'll have the QR codes there on the tables. But we just want people to have
Subtle
to
pressure,
come
huh?
out. Right, right. A little passive pressure now.
Sure. Never hurts.
So yeah, we just want people to have a good time. It's open to the public. We definitely want to open it up to HBCU alum who may want to have come out and have a good time after the HBCU Classic. Um, and there are other activations that I'm starting to hear about as well, related to the band and the team. Um, I don't know the exact details, but I do know they're going to do somewhat of a smaller pep rally that Thursday. But yeah, we're excited. Early bird tickets are on sale for the watch party um, for $50, and early bird does end this Friday. And the sales are going really well right now, so we're super excited to see all of our people here in the Bay.
Why don't you take this opportunity to kind of share with them how they can get taken about that? Eric will put it up on the screen as a part of the post for this interview, but it's a chance for you to just talk to how people could get the tickets to it.
Yeah. So the best way to get tickets. So if you follow Tuskegee Bay Area on Instagram or on Facebook, there's going to be a link to purchase tickets in the bio. Also on the Facebook, you can also find the link that's post. It's our most recent post. You can click that, and it'll take you directly to the ticket site. And if you are unfortunately unable to make it, but you still want to support this cause, there are three options to donate directly to the scholarship fund. There's a $25 option, $50 option, and a $100 option.
Back live inside, Chappie James getting set to start second half action. Golden Tigers, good portion of the first half in good shape, but as it got down near the end, they gave up a lot of turnovers and allowed the Dragons of Lane College to go into the locker room with a 31-24 lead. And we start second half action with the Golden Tigers inbounding the basketball. Tuskegee in the first 20 minutes, 8 of 19 shooting from the floor at 42%. Dragons 12 of 27 from the floor. More stats as this second half starts to unfold for both teams. Trapped out front is Walker. Up top he goes across the floor to Culpepper. Back to RJ, down in the corner Pennington. They trap it down, they throw it down at the block to Noah. Noah underneath, deep under the cylinder, got a reverse lay in right side, and he was fouled.
Noah Goins doing an excellent job holding his footwork inside, getting the layup with the right hand with his back to the hoop.
Noah with his first points of the ball game. Chance to turn it into a three-point play if he can convert on this free throw. Missed on the free throw. Rebound cleared by the Dragons of Lane College. They go quickly out to Elijah Greer, left side. Inside the paint, that one blocked around.
Culpepper got the block, but also got hit in the solar plexus. He was favoring his midsection coming away from that last play.
Inside the paint with the basketball is Johnson. He's doubled there. They got it down, and Sane had that one blocked from behind, and Goins comes away with it for Tuskegee. Outlet pass, Rodney. Rodney, stutter step in the corner to Draper. Draper back up top to Rodney. Rodney right side, back to Kasami. Nice step by him at the block. And an injured Dragon down on the court. I think that's Amir Britt. They've got a shot to the stomach area there.
Draper with a decisive move along the baseline. The trainer for Lane College coming out as player. Britt is still prone on the floor trying to get some oxygen in his lungs, or favoring that left leg as he hops off the court.
Yeah, he's hobbling bad. Needs some help there from somebody. Now he's trying to put a little bit of pressure on that.
Where are my teammates when I need them?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Nobody offering a hand, but he's making his way past the Dragons bench.
He looks like he's going all the way to the locker room.
He's down there near the stair rail, getting some attention over there. Culpepper in the corner for Tuskegee now. Pushes back out. RJ for three. Spinner is off the mark. Culpepper tapped it, but the basketball came clear on the inside to Johnson. Draper tied him up on the inside. And the arrow will send it to the Dragons of Lane College. They lead 31-26. Just underway second half. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter with the call. And the GTS and production crew here on site at Chappie James as well.
Tuskegee's bench has the right idea with the defense champ, because that's how they're going to be able to get it back in this ball game.
Half court set now for the Dragons. Out front, Johnson with the basketball. Tang on a move. Can't get it to him on a weave. Now in the corner, Mitchell inside the paint. Pushes back out to Greer Dawson. He'll slide the baseline right side for the shoot. He is tapped at the baseline. Goins took it away for TU. Good defensive trap down low by Goins and Culpepper. Tuskegee comes away with the basketball. Rodney out front. We're at 18:27 left in the ball game.
Goins trying to post up Dawson inside.
Spread defense by the Dragons. Bounce pass at the block. Draper underneath the defense with good body control. Couldn't convert on the shot though.
Draper seemed to get hung between a dunk and a layup.
Yeah, on the second effort he couldn't get it, but the basketball taken away by Tuskegee in a half-court set. DA up the floor to Draper. Had it tapped from behind. And on the baseline was Tang. Basketball will belong to Tuskegee.
Now that was just a wild pass to Draper, who was sprinting down court. Fortunate for Tuskegee, he was able to get a hand on it because he was being contested by two players as he's going deep.
Yeah, it's almost like the guards are not seeing the defenders for the opposition and just throwing it to a spot that they think he'll be, but that gives these guards for the Dragons a lot of time to get there and catch up with the play.
Lane is quick on the recovery.
Entry pass, Draper, 10-foot jumper by him. Missed on the shot. Rebounds cleared by Sane. Quick step for Rico. He'll work left side all the way to the rack. Culpepper guarding defensively. Good work there by the defensive specialist and Chip Culpepper. And we're going back the other way. I think they call that foul on Johnson. Johnson's picked up his third. He'll have to come out of the ball game. Matthews back out on the floor for Coach Harold Rayford. Walker with it across the timeline for TU. 17:40 left in this ball game. Tuskegee got to start making a move offensively here at some point. And we're back the other way. Offensive foul there on the screen by Noah Goins. So Noah picks up his second non-shooting foul for the Dragons of Lane College. They'll have the basketball though at 17:36 remaining in the contest. They lead 31-26. Sane across the timeline. Culpepper meets him there. Tang with it down in the corner. Walker tightly on him. Lost it on the floor. Pennington picks it up for TU. He'll run across the timeline left side. Back up top, Walker tapped from behind over to Pennington though. RJ way out front for three, missed on the shot. Draper got a rebound at the block, circles back in the paint, head fake, trying to get space, hook shot, missed it on the inside. Draper had his mind made up. He was going to stay inside that paint, just did not get it to fall. Tang for three, backside rebound cleared by RJ Walker and Tuskegee. Right side, Draper at the free throw line now. Lost it momentarily, got it over to Culpepper. Chip dumps it back, look to Draper, right side. Draper, hard push at the block. He's doubled there. Pushes back out Rodney. Rodney for three this time. Spinner down, but it won't stay. Draper got another rebound to the rack and a whistle. They'll count that basket inside. Draper going to the free throw line for GU.
Strong move by Draper inside off the offensive rebound. Felt contact, made the shot, operating in heavy traffic.
Look at that action in that half-court set for Tuskegee. Draper doing the work down low after Rodney missed on the three-point shot.
Draper's 21. Watch the move, contact, and the finish.
Nice job by him on the inside. Draper with 10. Actually has 9 in this ball game for Tuskegee at this point. Can make it 10 here with this free throw.
Draper hands on hips. Even though it's early in this second half, he's been working hard on both ends of the court because he is really the only legit big man that Tuskegee is operating with on both ends. So it's his responsibility not only for the posting on offense, but defending the rim on defense.
Good call on that. Draper, the junior from Conyers. They also have Boyce, who's listed at 6'9", and Evan Howell on the roster at 6'9", but those two definitely not the kind of offensive threat that Draper is for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Tuskegee trailing 31-28. Kasami at the line shooting once all of the concerns get ferreted out here across the floor. Rodney Walker is talking to one of the officials on that side of the floor.
Boyce has size, Charles, but I think he's a little bit raw on the offensive end. He doesn't have that move that he can depend on. It would be a beautiful thing if he had the moves of a power forward that would allow Draper to have more of a break inside.
Good news is that Boyce is a sophomore. You can develop him into that. But right now, you're right, he's lacking those skills. To the rack, Greer Dawson missed on the shot. Draper clears for Tuskegee. Had it tapped around, taken away by Greer. His shot rejected on the inside by Pennington. Sane with a jumper at the free throw line. He missed. And we're going over Tuskegee with the basketball.
Draper is working hard inside. He is the key Tuskegee player on defense, trying to get those rebounds to generate this offense.
And they're doing just like you said. As soon as he gets his hands on that rebound, they're swatting at it. The Dragons are trying to free it up.
Here he is posting.
Draper squares, doubled and tripled on the inside, lost it to Matthews and the Dragons. In the backcourt, Rodney had it taken away for a moment. Now it comes back, and Rodney finally takes it away. Rodney left side to the glass. And what a finish there by RJ. He was alone on that end of the floor, did all the work himself there, and got rewarded with a lay-in after the hard work.
And got some cheering from the crowd.
Yeah. Cuts the deficit to 1. Let's see if that gets this crowd into this basketball game. Sane out front with the rock for the Dragons. Lost his goal, batted away by Pennington. D.A. got the steal. D.A. just kept going. He'll finish with the flush. Alabama power points in the paint for Pennington after the steal and headed to the rack for the dunk.
Pennington, a one-man defensive offensive transition. Tuskegee cuts it to 1. The breakaway and the flush.
Just what Tuskegee needed there before the timeout. 15:21 remains in the ball game. Media timeout. Tuskegee leads 32-31. Take a break on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Back live inside Chappie James. Take a look at some of the numbers up to this point in the ball game. Tuskegee 12 of 29, shooting at 41%. Dragons at 36%. Both teams, though, with 12 field goals. Dragons 12 of 33 from the floor. 4 3-pointers for the Dragons, 3 for Tuskegee. And the rebounding edge at this point favors Tuskegee, but look at the turnovers, Mark.
That's where I was looking, all the way down at the bottom of the stat sheet. 16 turnovers for Tuskegee, only 11 for Lane, and you can see the disparity in fast break points as a result.
Tuskegee finally able to claim a lead, though, after the intermission, 32-31, with 15-19 left in the ballgame. Sane with it across the timeline. Works it left side to Greer Dawson. Culpepper out in front of him. On the move now. Greer Dawson had to dump it in the corner to Sane. 14 to shoot for the Dragons. Pennington tapped it away. Crawford comes clear with it for TU.
Second consecutive play. Pennington's defensive effort. Forgot something.
Officials on the far side saying it was a double dribble, but I think they're going to wave that off. Matthews did touch that basketball, but we'll see.
Pennington's claiming it was touched, pleading his case at midcourt, but he's going to lose that one.
Yeah, that was clear from our vantage point. I don't know if we'll have another look at this, but I think Matthews did touch that basketball in the backcourt, which would allow Pennington to pick it up and dribble. 14:54 remains. Let's take a look at this in the backcourt now. Pennington at the top of your screen. Watch the contact right about there off of the foot of Matthews. But what do we know? We just got some production toys that we're just dealing with over here. Pennington adamant about the fact that that was touched by Matthews, but so things go. You don't get them all.
You know, it's interesting also that the officials in our last game wanted to know if we could use our equipment. They can use our equipment if there came to be a close call.
Sure.
So it's here if they need it. I think that a lot of times they may not be aware of our technical resources that can be employed mid-game.
Yeah, that's what we were asking that first ball game. And this is Division II, so I know you can't use the replays to go in and, if you will, overturn calls based upon the replay. That won't happen until next year, from what I understand. But these officials are trying to get used to this being in place, and there have been times when it's an issue about how much clock was left or where they were in the sequence. That's when they'll go back and they can make some adjustments on the time.
Excellent point.
14:54 left in the ball game. Tuskegee leads 32-31. Half court set for the Dragons. This is Damari Wallace, the freshman, on the floor. Over to Matthews. Craig Crawford right in his grill as he handles and works it down on the inside. Got it down low to Mitchell. Mitchell working the block. Shots off the mark, but Amir Boyce down at the baseline. He'll commit the personal.
Boyce had the push in his midsection as he was raising to shoot that jumper. Boyce actually had decent position. No need to commit that foul with the hands extended like that.
That's the one thing you want to get from that point with your team, that you've got the ability, you're doing things on the floor, but just can you finish it in the right way? So rather than fouling at the end of that play, stay true to your defensive stance.
Sure.
And just let happen what's going to happen at the baseline.
Well, it's funny, he had position. He will be taking a seat after that last play.
It's almost like an all or nothing proposition with basketball. You got to stay true to what's gotten you there and don't deviate from that, because what's going to happen is you're going to see exactly what happened there. They got to the free throw line and got an easy point. Who knows what would have happened on that shot in the corner. Pennington in the backcourt now. Up top to Draper across the timeline. Right side Rodney. We're at 14:29 left in the ballgame. Tuskegee trailing by a point. Up top at the free throw line, Draper. Got some space, pushes back Pennington now. He'll work off of the screen, picked up out front. Back Culpepper, chipped for three. Front of the iron on the shot. Draper fighting for a rebound inside the paint. He and Matthews tied up, both with hands on the basketball.
Culpepper had an excellent look from the left side from about 18 feet out. Wasn't able to hit it. But give credit to Draper once again, battling inside, contesting that offensive rebound.
TU will have it on there and on the floor. A chance to reclaim the lead. 14-11 remaining in the basketball game. 32-33. Tuskegee trailing the Dragons lane.
Draper's got his hands on hips. Wonder if he is a bit winded after the work on both ends. He's been working hard.
Yeah, you don't have to wonder with this the heat here inside the arena, as Draper floats one inside the paint. Got airborne on that. Got that basket on the inside. Yeah, it's a little warm here. Trouble with the air conditioning system here in Chappie James. Tuskegee with a 34-33 lead. Walker almost stealing that basketball. Matthews in the corner instead. Now he's on the move, pushes up top. Tang for three. Air ball. Basketball at the block and over to Tuskegee.
Tang is another player who'd be better served not hoisting from deep. Doesn't have that form on his jump shot that gives you the idea that he's hit that on a reliable basis.
Take a look at that opposite set there for Tuskegee. Draper going right to work on the inside. That floating right-hand hook, and he's good with Alabama power points in the paint. Draper this time on the move left side at the free throw line. Lost the dribble. We're 18:29 remaining. Tuskegee up by 1 point. They give it to Draper in the corner. Draper doubled there to the rack with the floater. And foul occurred before the shot by Draper in the right corner.
Draper's now grabbing at his shorts, hunched over near the free throw line. Got to be thinking about giving him some type of rest with 13 minutes remaining in this second half.
Yeah, he's winded. You can see it. Tuskegee got it in play to Pennington. They're getting it. Draper still fighting for position. Crawford out front for three. Missed there. Draper trying to keep that basketball alive on the Tuskegee end of the floor. Not able to do it that trip. 13-10 left. Tuskegee with a 34-33 lead. Greer Dawson out front for the Dragons. Floats right side to the rack and a whistle. We'll get Rodney Walker. Rodney trying to reach in on that play rather than using those feet to slide in front of Dawson.
Greer Dawson, once he made up his mind to go, cupped the ball in his right elbow to protect it. Got to the rack, didn't make the shot, but will go to the line.
Yeah, the way you describe that, it's just like, okay, here's a guy on a journey right here. He's not giving the basketball up. We know that. He's going to the hoop.
He's got his suitcase and he's going on vacation.
He hit the first from the line. He'll tie it at 34. And spins the second one good as well. So the Dragons reclaim the lead in this back and forth affair. Full court pressure. Walker with it in the corner, trying to find some space. Got it to Crawford. Crawford over to Pennington. Tuskegee with some slight numbers now. The DA can't get up there quick enough. Back up top to Rodney. Rodney out front for three. He's fouled on the shot, so he'll be shooting three from the line for Tuskegee. Greer Dawson guilty of the foul.
Nice to see his teammates sprint over to help him off the court after that last foul off the three-point attempt.
A few minutes ago, you were saying, boy, we got a ball game here. Remember that? And check this. Stat that bears it out. We've had 7 ties in this ball game and 12 lead changes. So that's a nip and tuck there. Walker, first free throw, just cannot get things going. Had a real struggle in the ball game against Miles on Saturday in that ball game. Rodney, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and had 2 turnovers in that contest, but just has not been able to get things going here for Tuskegee in this basketball game. Got a free throw there.
You can see the marks on his left shoulder, that cupping technique that leaves those brands supposed to help your circulation. One of my tennis buddies had one of those machines. I tried it out. I don't know if it helps or not, but you can see those large dark splotches on his left shoulder.
You know, I saw those early in the ball game. I was like, maybe Rodney got into a tuffle.
No, it's actually a machine.
Medical, I got you.
That supposedly helps your circulation.
All right, I'll take your word.
Looks like he's pledging a fraternity.
Yeah, when I saw it early on, I just couldn't get my mind wrapped around it. I never heard of what you were talking about there. Zone defense for the Golden Tigers. Matthews with it out front. They dump it down in the corner. Jump shot there. Back of the iron. Rebound cleared by DA. Quickly over to Rodney. And Rodney across the timeline. Works it left side. 3-point shot by Arrow. Now he's finding the range. Rodney with the triple.
That machine must work.
Yeah. Turn the thing on. Turn those machines back on.
Pass it down.
12-10 left in the ball game. Tuskegee leads 39-35. Matthews with it out front. Crawford low to the floor defensively on him. There's a steal by Draper. Showtime perhaps here. Chappie. Draper! Alabama power points in the paint on the flush and a win. Casino Montgomery fast break as well.
Excellent job by the big man on the handle and the dunk in the open court.
Draper got him to the feet here inside Chappie James. 11:48 left in the basketball game. Tuskegee leads at 41-35 on a timeout. Take a look at that action by Kasami Draper to turn things in front of the Golden Tigers on a run out there for TU.
The tip and the breakaway.
Nothing left to do but to just do it, and he did. So Draper makes it 41-35. TU up. More after the timeout. Back live here inside Chappie James Arena. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, the one that's circled, put a star on it and everything else. It's a ball game next weekend against the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. We're live from the Chase Center in Oakland, California for the HBCU Classic, part of the NBA All-Star Weekend. So they'll be happy to be out there. Got a big contingent from the east here for Tuskegee headed out west. The alumni chapters out there with Christian Trigg in the Bay Area chapter, and down in Los Angeles, Kimberly Bilbrew. They'll be hosting the Golden Tiger entourage as they come out for All-Star Weekend.
So you need to go to North Beach in San Francisco and check out Mara's Restaurant. They have the best Chiappino in the Bay Area.
Yeah, can you see me going in and say, can I have some Chiappino?
Absolutely.
This guy doesn't even know what it is.
You can sit at the bar and have your Chiappino. It's a great seafood dish.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's another one you got on me. I'll try that when I get out there. Country bum like me going out asking for Chiappino. Culpepper to the rack, and he baked it up the front side of it.
Culpepper with a nice stew of a move to the rack with the right hand.
He's got 5 for TU now. Tuskegee with a 43-35 lead. We approach the 11-minute mark. Greer Dawson with it out front, being pushed back near the mid-stripe. Now over to Johnson. He'll work it right side. Trey Crawford guarding him. Basketball at the block. Goins took it away on a rebound for TU.
Johnson had Britt wide open, who was asking for the ball in the paint, and just ignored him.
That's tough. Walker, right side for TU now. Pushes across the floor to Pennington. D.A. nice head fake. Down in the corner. Goins. He'll push, try to get in closer to the rack. Underneath, got a foul and the basket.
Goins turned down the first shot, got to the rack, felt contact, and you can sense the Tuskegee offense, off the energy of Draper, has picked up their pace.
Yeah, you take a look at this work inside. Alabama power points and paint, giving up that first option, going in there, sawing underneath that defense, and the freshman going to work on the inside.
Draper getting a rest with 10:39 to go. I would expect him to be back in this ball game around the 7 or 8 minute mark.
Nice call. Absolutely right. Tuskegee right now with a 10-point spread. At 10:39, that's a good chance to get him off the floor if you can just maintain your momentum or the lead while he's not playing. Half-court set will go back the other way. They'll get Crawford for a foul on the inside.
And the momentum for Tuskegee, Charles, is on defense. They've done an excellent job of contesting the passing lanes for Lane. And as a result, they've gotten some very valuable turnovers.
So the Dragons now have it in the backcourt, and they will come across the timeline. Greer Dawson with it way out front. Down in the corner, Tang fires a three-pointer, but left it short. Pennington steps in for that rebound. Lead behind for J.R. Walker.
Tang keeps shooting it and keeps missing it.
Yeah, so Tuskegee will live with that. Walker, right side. Nice pass in the block. Crawford and Trey will be going to the line for Tuskegee. Now, unlike Rodney in the first half trying to bounce that pass in, he just shot that one in on a rope and got it there at mid-waist for Crawford to try to handle it.
And it was in a position where he could handle it. Fortunate that Lane got a hand on it for their defense, but as it stands, he'll go to the line. These are important free throws.
Crawford, transfer in from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Rainbow free throw by Crawford, and he's good. I asked him how does it feel to be this far in the South, coming all the way from Colorado? And he said, well, it's different, but I like it. Tuskegee has that thing on people as they get a rebound and reset offensively.
Tuskegee's a feeling.
Sure, good call, good call. And almost everybody that I met that have come through this institution, they have that feeling. Culpepper with a move, jumper, bingo, Culpepper.
Hey, Culpepper is feeling it. Speaking of feelings, nice jumper from the right side.
Double C with 7 in this ball game for Tuskegee. Makes it a 48-35 lead to go down to 9:43 left in the ball game. Out front, Sane for 3. He finds the range for the Dragons. His third three-pointer of the ball game.
Both offenses getting loose here midway through the final half.
Walker across the timeline for TU. Got a screen from Crawford. Lost a dribble out front now. Culpepper, dish, Goins. Noah had it stripped from behind, but Sane can't run it down, and they'll go out of bounds and stay with
Tuskegee. And here comes Draper back in the ball game.
Wow, sooner than you thought, huh? 9 minutes, 18 seconds, and he's back. So that was designed just to give him a couple of minutes worth of rest. Coach Taylor probably thinking in the back of his mind, what happened to us on Saturday? We led by 10 against the as Pennington hits the 3, but they led by 10 against Miles College and gave it up. But Pennington there on a 3-point shot. That's his 3rd 3-pointer of the ball game. Pennington now with 13 for Tuskegee. Tang inside the paint. Dumps it down in the corner on the move is Brett. And a foul at the block. Tuskegee with a 13-point lead over the Dragons in Lane College. As Amir Britt Jr. will go to the line. Take a look at the half-court set for TU. Draper with the basketball. The release to DA. DA, no doubt about it. When it comes down out of the ceiling, it'll be down in the net, and he knocked down the 3-pointer.
So Greer Dawson for Lane was the lead scorer at the half, but Tuskegee's done an excellent job of denying him the ball. We haven't heard much from Mr. Dawson in the last 5 minutes.
He's got 13 in the ball game for them. As you referenced, most of that came in the first half of this contest. Don't believe he scored in the second half. Pass batted as Walker tried to throw it across the floor, and a foul called into the backcourt now.
Just when I called his name, it was Greer who got the deflection on that last pass, using his athleticism, just rising up to get a hand on the ball.
And what I want you to keep an eye on is right now we're at 8:42 left in the ball game. You see that turnover there by Tuskegee? They do not want that to become a repetition type thing, that they keep doing that, because that's exactly how Miles got back into the basketball game on Saturday. You lead by 11 now. Next thing you know, you keep doing that. You're just trailing. You're leading by 4. Next thing you know, they're tied. Dragons with it, half-court set. We'll see if Tuskegee can come back out of that in this half-court set. Tang is fouled on the inside by Goins.
And to your point, Charles, it's not the interceptions that get you, it's the deflections. Those passes that your opponent's able to get a hand on that just throws off your rhythm minimally, but lead to steals on the upside.
3rd personal on Goins. They'll send Tang to the line to shoot for the Dragons. He got the first free throw.
Tuskegee going with a little more size now, taking out Goins and bringing back the big man.
Draper back out on the floor. Trey Crawford out there. Austin Taylor, Anthony Pennington, Chip Culpepper, the 5. Tang got them both from the line for the Dragons. Full court pressure now as Pennington surveys. Got it to Taylor. Taylor at the sideline. That's exactly where they want to push him. Pennington up the floor now. Pass down the floor to Draper. Draper will run it down in the corner. Back up top, Pennington. 8:22 remaining in the ball game. Draper at the block now. Head fake by him. Got a double. Leans back with a jumper, and he's fouled. He'll be at the line shooting.
Draper was like a wide receiver on that last catch as he's sprinting down the court. Made an excellent over-the-shoulder grab. That's a tough catch for the big man.
Tough pass as well, because the Dragons were not fully committed to full court pressure. They had a couple of men back that time and almost came away with stealing that basketball.
Well, unlike football, you also have to make the catch and you have to stop yourself without traveling.
Yeah, the momentum, you can't have that in basketball. Draper got the first free throw. Take a look at it on the replay as Draper finishes up his work at the free throw line. That pass from Pennington in the backcourt.
You talk about the run after catch in football. There is no run after catch in basketball.
You got to run. You got to dribble. Yeah.
You got to run it down and stop.
Sure. Nice catch by our camera crew there. 8:14 left in the ball game. 52-42. Tuskegee leads. Crawford go for a rebound. It comes to Taylor instead. Ostin across the floor to DA. Up the floor to Crawford across the timeline. Trey slides it back to DA.
Next 3 minutes are very important for Tuskegee. The next 3.
Under 8 remains. Pennington backpedals now. Across the floor to Austin. Down in the corner, Culpepper. Slide play to Crawford. Crawford across the floor, tried to get it to Draper. And it's tipped out of bounds. And Pennington saying it was tipped. Officials, looks like they're going to wave it off and agree that it was Tuskegee's basketball.
Crawford appeared to panic just a little bit on that pass. He was trying to get rid of it, not really certain of where Draper was headed.
7:45 remains. We come to a media timeout here inside Chappie. James, Tuskegee up by 10, 52-42. Take a break here on GTSN. Tuskegee cheerleaders doing their thing here.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
For this Monday night, you see the action inside the SIAC, Savannah State and Allen. That one down in Savannah. Morehouse and Fort Valley, that's always a good contest there. Clark Atlanta, Albany State. That one, ball game a few games. Morehouse played Albany State on Saturday. Morehouse led by as many as 25 in that ball game. Golden Rams scrambled, got it back to OT, but Morehouse able to win that ball game. So these ball games on Monday night, as we get closer and closer toward the SIAC tournament, winners and losers going to determine who's top four, who will play at home in the first round, and who will be on the road. And one of those teams out of the East is going to be sidelined. Whoever finishes last on that side will not even get a chance to do a play-in. Beg your pardon, that's on the west side. That'll be the last place won't get a chance for a play-in. Right now, if it stopped today, it would be the Dragons, as Pennington floats one near the free throw line, and he got it to fall.
The beauty of that high arc is that every now and then you get the benefit of that bounce. And Pennington, front rim, back rim, and in.
Yeah, he knows the floor. He knows when it's head on, too. Pennington in the ball game with 13. He and Goins, or Draper, 13 each. Whistles on a half-court set now. Dragons will be at the line shooting.
They got Trey Crawford over the back for Tuskegee. He had decent position, but again, with players that are in the game that don't have a lot of experience, you can pick up some of these ticky-tack fouls. As we get a look at the replay, is Pennington rising, the benefit of the front rim, back rim, and in.
Golden Tigers 20 of 39 shooting from the floor. They're up there at percentage to 51% now. Last time they played this team, they shot it at 48%. So that's a good sign for Tuskegee coming on the stretch with 7:14 remaining. They lead 54-42. Pennington guarded by Tang on the outside. They double him as he slides back out front. Across the floor now to Julian Watson, who's on the floor. He got it to Draper, right side. Draper at the right, leans back with the jumper, crease the rim. Tang clears for the Dragons. 6:51 left in the ball game. Sane in the corner. Back up top to Greer Dawson. Entry pass inside, nicely done. That's a whistle there. Greer Dawson feeding that pass inside the Brett, and Brett was fouled.
That was a crisp pocket pass from Dawson, who was at the top of the key, spotted his man flashing open. Lane gets the benefit of scoring without any time moving on the clock. They're down 12. Tuskegee wants to hold this lead at double digits if they can.
First free throw from the line by Brett is good.
The mentality of this game, Charles, is really interesting because Tuskegee doesn't want to sense that Lane is sneaking up. They don't want to feel that heat on their neck if they get it under 8. They want to see if they can keep this at least at 10 going towards 5 minutes to go.
But what you're describing is exactly what they felt on Monday. Down the floor, Goins with the basketball over to Draper, and Draper with another flush inside. Another Alabama power points in the paint for TU.
Great look by Goins. Made the catch and the dish.
Half-court set now for the Dragons. Tuskegee up 56-44, 6:17 left. Goins, or Greer with a jumper that time, missed on the shot. Watson clears backside for TU. Julian, good job by him of squaring out to get that rebound.
Tuskegee overplaying on defense now, taking some chances, gambling, going for some of these passes by Lane.
Pennington, half-court set for TU now. He'll try to work off of a screen by Draper. Across the floor to Culpepper. Julian in the corner just in front of the TU bench. Julian pushes back up front. Draper with it. Draper slides the paint right side. Running shot there by him is off the mark. It's loose on the floor, and here come the Dragons. 3-on-3 basketball. Greer Dawson spins underneath. Shot rejected by Culpepper at the block.
Greer Dawson with the spin.
Call that foul on Culpepper.
Was not hearing it. Watch Culpepper, number 12. This is the previous play to Draper.
Yeah, for that flush on the inside. At the free throw line, Greer Dawson shooting for the Dragons. He got the first. But Culpepper defending on that play in that half-court set almost came away with a clean block inside. They got him for the foul, though. That's his second. Greer Dawson good on both from the line. 10-point lead for Tuskegee. Watson over to Pennington. D.A. Culpepper. Chip across the timeline left side. Chip lost the dribble back to D.A. D.A. on a move. Foul line extended. Culpepper. Three for Culpepper. Back of the arm. Goins tapped it, but it comes clear to the Dragons of lane. Greer Dawson left side for them. We're at 5:15 left in the ball game now.
Every one of these possessions on offense for Tuskegee is golden.
Oh, like the reference. Greer Dawson, Euro step inside, and he'll be fouled underneath. Greer Dawson getting bailed out on that one. He's so far up under the cylinder on that shot, there's no way he's going to make that basket. But he'll be at the line shooting as they call the foul on Julian Watson. So Julian picks up his first. Greer Dawson to shoot here. He's got 15 in the game, 7 of 10 from the free throw line.
Front rim's the first free throw.
Wow. Tuskegee will take it. Rim it however you want. Don't just let it go in.
Box out.
For the second, 1 of 2 from the line for Greer Dawson. He's got 16 in the contest. Culpepper with it in the backcourt over to Pennington. Pennington to Julian. Julian across the timeline left side. Down in the corner. Draper fights his way toward the rack. Waits for the defense to clear, and he blew a foul.
Draper did an excellent job with the pump fake without traveling on the baseline. He was very close. Had double coverage. Had the alertness to know where he was on the floor and not take that extra step. Very easy to take that slide step under pressure.
That's right. You want to make sure you stay under control underneath like that. So Draper to shoot. And Draper front irons that first free throw. Golden Tigers in this basketball game, 9 of 20 from the free throw line at 45% compared to 76% for the Dragons. Second free throw is good by Draper. He went the long route as it popped up and came down the cylinder for him, but he'll take it.
Pennington was flashing to the paint for the putback.
Yeah, nice call. He was right in there, wasn't he? Under 5 left. Tuskegee's lead is still 10, 57-47. Sane with it out front for the Dragons. Across the floor to go Greer Dawson, looking for some space for a penetration. Tuskegee in that zone defense denying him that. They work it inside. Across the floor now, Sane pushes a 3 and drains it for the Dragons out front.
Lane likes to run Tang from side to side on the baseline. He hasn't had much success from deep. Fortunately for Tuskegee, he's not really a prime target, but when he gets it, he will shoot it.
Indeed. 4:28 remains. Rodney Walker out on the floor. Julian Watson gets a high five from Coach Taylor. Good solid minutes by him.
Big possession for Tuskegee, up 7.
Sure. Backcourt pressure on Rodney. Rodney up the floor to Culpepper. Chip across the timeline. Down in the corner to Draper.
No need to rush. 15 seconds.
Pennington with it out front. He'll work off of a screen left side. Head fake. Leans back with the jumper. Pennington can't get the shooter. The tap's controlled. Backside Noah Goins. Noah to the glass. He muscles his way in for the field goal.
Goins had the poise. Made the pump fake again, as Pennington did. Gathered his composure and made the shot.
Tuskegee by 9 now with 3:53 remaining. At the free throw line. Johnson moves right side to the glass, and he banked it over Draper for the basket.
Strong move by number 21, Brandon Johnson of Lane.
Tuskegee 59, Dragons 52. Pennington across the timeline for Tuskegee. We're at 3:30 remaining in the ball game. On the weed, they almost throw it away there. Rodney has it out front. He'll circle left side. 14 to shoot for Tuskegee now. Draper trying to set a screen. Rodney out front, lost the dribble. Across the floor, Pennington in the corner. Culpepper, 6 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Pennington leans back, jumper. Bingo by Pennington before the buzzer.
You could see the entire Tuskegee bench shouting, go, once it got under 6 seconds, and he went.
Did he go? He banged it home. Pennington did. 3:08 remains. Tuskegee 61. Dragons of Lane College 52. Take a break on GTSN. Inside that Tuskegee huddle here in Chappie James Arena. That's what they'll do when they get in late in the ball game. They all go past the bench and down into that corner. I don't know if it's an amen corner or just what, but they're down there. And they're strategizing from there, leading at 61-52 over the Dragons of Lane College. 3:08 remaining in regulation.
I like that corner huddle because it gets the entire team away from any distraction. They just take some of the seats from the bench down that end.
All they have is just the seats for the, I think the 5 that are on the floor. And then Coach Taylor right in the middle of all that. Dragons will have the basketball after the timeout, our final media timeout here inside Chappie James. Glad you could join us on Monday evening for Golden Tigers basketball. Tang will inbound it once play gets set to resume. He'll inbound it to Sane, who comes across the timeline. Tang whistles on the inside. Foul call. Tuskegee trying to deny him on the inside. Just trying to determine who made the foul on the inside. At the line, Tang with the first free throw. They're still trying to sort out who committed the foul for Tuskegee. Meanwhile, Tang shooting at the line. It looks like they're going to assign it to Culpepper, which would be his 3rd. Rebound at the block by Matthews. He'll turn and he'll go to the free throw line as a result. The one thing you talked about on the free throw efforts by the Dragons is that Tuskegee cannot allow them to get a rebound on a missed free throw. That time they did.
Matthews 6'8". So who's going to put a body on him? If it's not Draper, someone else has to take responsibility inside.
Yeah, and that's going to be a mismatch. Matthews with that free throw. He's got 3 in the ball game, another coming here. 2:59 remaining. Matthews drains them both from the line. Pennington in the backcourt now. Walker deep in the corner, slides through 2 defenders and lost the basketball. Dragons come back the other way. Greer Dawson missed on his shot. Rebound cleared by Noah for Tuskegee, and they throw the basketball away again. Out front, Tang for 3, and he is fouled after he made a 3-point field goal.
Tang dove to the floor for that first deflection and steal, which leads to the 3-point shot. And all of a sudden, we have a 3-point ball game.
2:47 remains. Remember, we were talking about it at the 8-minute mark. Tuskegee was up by 10 at that point. We're at 2:47 now. The deficit has fallen to 3. Chance to take it to 2 now if Tang can hit this free throw.
And all Lane is doing, they're taking the risk of diving and overplaying every pass. Now, Tuskegee, if they make the correct pass, they can break that pressure. But watch how Lane just overplays everything.
Pennington doubled immediately in the backcourt. That's one of the problems. Tuskegee just didn't get it out of there quick enough in the corner. Here comes Culpepper. He'll run the floor, try to lead behind, and he threw it right over to the Dragons. This is what you see with a team trailing from behind, not the team that's leading. Goins had a hand on it. Matthews tied him up. Draper got it at the floor. David and the Dragons took it away. Matthews pumps a three-pointer, missed on the shot. Backside rebound to Walker. Tuskegee with a 61-59 lead with 2:13 left in the basketball game.
No need to rush once you cross the 8-second line, 10-second line. Tuskegee has 17 on the clock.
Walker with it just in front of us. Now Draper inching out to set a screen. Right side Culpepper in the corner. Lost this dribble, pushes back up top to Draper. 5 to shoot, they gotta hurry now. Rodney, right side, floater, got it airborne, missed on the shot though. Rebound, Draper at the block. Kasami, he'll be fouled and go to the line for Tuskegee. 1:45 remains. Draper with big free throws in front of him.
You can tell Tuskegee in this situation is pressing just a bit. It's a different flavor than where they were playing to start this second half.
Draper with 16. He'll be at the line shooting, but he'll do it after the timeout. 1:45 left. We'll stay here for this timeout. And I hear you, Mark, loud and clear. Just like Tuskegee, when they get to this point in the ball game, something's come over them. That one is the pressure of the Dragons in full court play, and that's forcing Tuskegee, even if they get it across the mid-stripe, to do some kind of helter-skelter type offense that's just not balanced based upon clock on clock.
I think the athletic term for it is muscle memory. And as we talked about to begin the ball game, they've got to forget about Saturday night. They've got to think about executing their offense. They know what Lane's going to do. Lane's going to pressure everything. They're going to dive. They're going to scratch and claw. So the thing for Tuskegee, make the pass overhead. Do not make bounce passes. Try to complete passes over the pressure.
Right now, Golden Tigers leading at 61-59. Chance to share a little action here with Anthony Pennington in this ball game. Got a little pack to run on here, man. We take a look at some of his work on the floor for the Golden Tigers. This time behind the arc, the rainbow three by DA is on target as usual. Other side of the floor, same thing. Doesn't really matter where you square them up. See him on defense there, and back the other way for an Alabama power point in the paint on a flush. And then following up back on the other side, got a rebound there. Behind the arc again, it's the same old thing. Baskets by Pennington. That's why they lead by 2, but they have got to protect this lead with 1:45 remaining. And Draper at the line to shoot. Draper true on the first one for the Golden Tigers. 17 in the ball game for the Conyers native. Draper for the second. That one's off the mark. Crawford giving chase, but Matthews beat him to the basketball. Tuskegee leading 62-59, 1:40 remaining. Entry pass at the block to go right inside to Mitchell. Back out front, Tang. Tang missed on the shot. It goes up and falls down for Tang. And that'll be a three-pointer, tying it at 62. My, oh my. So with 1:23 left, we're tied at 62 now. Walker wants to work it right side. He'll slide all the way through right side. Back inside the paint and back out. 14 now. Walker, floater by Rodney. Banked it, but he missed. Rebound Tang at the block for Lane. 63 seconds left. And a timeout taken by Harold Rayford and the Dragons of Lane College. Not a bad shot there by Walker inside the paint. He was open, but he was on one leg, not fully balanced on the shot.
Not a bad shot, but that was a lot of dribble. 1 minute, 4 seconds remaining. Tuskegee now has to make the adjustment on defense and see if they can get a stop.
Tied at 62. We'll see who he puts out on the floor. Because basketball will belong to the Dragons. They're going to go back into that amen corner over there and talk things through. Dragons, as you referenced early in this broadcast, they come in here 3-17 and 3-12 in the SIAC. They're just letting it all hang out here. Got a chance to win it here at Chappie.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some offensive, defensive switches and substitutions for Tuskegee. Go big against this Lane team that you know is going to try to go inside.
Looking at some of the stats here, the bottom line where you always go is the turnovers. Tuskegee with 20, 13 for the Dragons of Lane College. Fast break points, 21 for Lane, 13 for Tuskegee. Good fast-paced basketball game here. But Tuskegee in this ball game, they led by 10 a few moments ago, right around the 8-minute mark. And right now we are tied at 62. And the Dragons will have it. And they'll have it in the backcourt.
Tuskegee's starting 5 back on the floor.
Tuskegee's largest lead was 13 in this second half. Led by 10 with 8 minutes left.
Tuskegee showing matchup zone.
Matthews with a jumper, missed on the shot. Tap is in for the Dragons. They got Mitchell on the inside of the defense. Mitchell able to get the tap, and he's at the line shooting for the Dragons.
And that's the benefit of size. At 6'11", he gets to the rack, makes the tap, gives them a 2-point lead.
He was able to find a little crease in there and got to the cylinder with the tap. You have got to get a body on everybody when you're in this situation in the ball game. You get a body on them and keep them out. That's the only way you can prevent. That's how you can counter a height advantage or disadvantage that you're facing defensively. You just got to get your hips on in there and push them out of that paint.
Well, Martise Mitchell is so slight. He's listed at 6'11". I would imagine he is borderline 200 pounds. If he turns his body to the side, you got to find him before you box him out.
Chance to convert on a three-point play, and he does. Right now, Tuskegee behind the gun now, trailing 65-62. Walker in the backcourt now with 50 seconds left in the contest. Tuskegee does not have to have a three-pointer here. This trip down the floor. Draper trying to set a screen. Walker works right side. 16 to shoot. Rodney still pounding out front. Here Dawson catching up with him. Rodney pushes back out to Culpepper. 10 to shoot. Chip lost his dribble. Entry pass Goins. Jumper missed it right side. Draper had a hand on it. It's loose on the floor. Chip Culpepper dives in there to get a hand on it. Jump ball, and Arrow will send it to the Dragons of Lane College with 23 seconds left. And you see Harold Rayford, the head coach for the Dragons of Lane College. He's just beside himself thinking that they can actually win this ball game against the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Tuskegee's going to have to work hard defensively, see if they can't get an early turnover here. Matthews in the backcourt, got it to Tang. Now over to Sane. Sane across the floor to Matthews. Matthews fouled out front by Draper. 15 seconds left in the ball game. Matthews at the line. He can do some serious damage if he hits both of these.
Interesting that Matthews didn't start, as well as Martise Mitchell. Lane showing some versatility, able to bring size off the bench, and effective size where Tuskegee has not really been able to match up. You can see Draper going to the bench for Tuskegee. He's had a tremendous ball game, but no help inside.
He fouled out of the basketball game as Matthews missed the first free throw. So Draper fouled out against Miles on Saturday and fouls out again here this afternoon against the Dragons of Lane College. Matthews with one more coming here. 15 seconds left. Tuskegee's going to have to get a three-point field goal. Matthews spins a second and missed it. Pennington up the floor now for Tuskegee. Going to get a timeout, I believe, at half court. No, they'll play it down. Pennington for three. And a timeout taken, I believe, by Coach Taylor before he took the three. Got it across the mid-stripe and then took the timeout.
Pennington wasn't hearing anything of the timeout. He was taking it.
Right.
So as we said it, 8.7 seconds remaining. Tuskegee down by 3 with the basketball.
Yeah, you don't have enough time to try to work it on the inside and hope maybe you can get it inside and see if you can get a three-point play. But Draper's not on the floor, so you don't really have anyone you can go to on the inside to try to create a three-point play on the inside with a shot and a foul. So we'll see if he's putting any of these three-point shooters out here. Expect Christopher Whitmore maybe to come out on the floor.
That's a tough ask to bring somebody off the bench to shoot a three. I would imagine that Pennington gets first dibs.
Yeah, I think he's just going to get as many three-pointers out there as he can. But, yeah, you wanted to go through Pennington. R.J. Walker, he can hit a three as well. Yeah, Whitmore, he's out on the floor for TU. Culpepper, Goins, Walker and Pennington the 5 for Tuskegee with 8.7 seconds left. Now they don't have to hurry it, but they're going to have to get it from behind the arc. In the corner, Culpepper back to Pennington. Across the throw, Rodney for 3. He got it, I believe. Missed on the shot. Culpepper runs it down. Back to D.A. D.A. before the buzzer. And that'll do it. I think we got a whistle call here, do we?
Tuskegee wanted a goaltend as that ball was actually caught on the way down, but the officials are not hearing any of it.
They're headed toward the exits. Yeah. Tuskegee with a couple of looks there with the 8.7 seconds left, but did not get the shot they needed to come away with the 3-point basket. So back-to-back ball games, and Tuskegee's led by 10 going down into the latter stages of it, and just this time not able to hold off the Dragons of Lane College as they win it 65-62 here at Chappie James. Got to be some heavy disappointment there for Coach Taylor and the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. So they fall for the 3rd time in a row. They lose this one 65-62 to the Dragons of Lane College, number 17 in the West. And Tuskegee with 3 losses in a row now after losing this ball game this afternoon. We take a look at the standings. We'll get a chance to take a look at those perhaps when we come back from a break and see kind of what the impact of this ball game is. They were bunched up on the west side. Tuskegee at 2nd and a couple of other teams right behind them. We'll step out for a timeout, kind of assess what things are based upon this loss as the Golden Tigers fall 65-62 to the Dragons of Lane College. Back after the timeout.
Tuskegee University's founder, Booker T. Washington, said, "Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way." At many universities, big classes are common. Not at Tuskegee. We have small classes with a 14-to-1 average student-to-teacher ratio. This formula for excellence ensures individualized attention. You get to know your professors, and they get to know you well enough to recommend you for internships, research, graduate programs, and job opportunities. Small classes, big impact. It's all part of educational excellence at Tuskegee University.
And we're back live here inside Chappie James Arena. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee got an effort at the end, but they fall short 65-62 to the Dragons of Lane College, Mark. And we were talking about it as that second half just continued to wane, that Tuskegee really putting themselves in a hole by virtue of some turnovers and ill-advised shots late in that ball game.
Tuskegee made a push early in the second half where they seemed to get the offensive game in sync. They were playing an up-tempo game, and then down the stretch, they reverted to too much one-on-one basketball. They went back to over-dribbling, not finding the open man, and Lane, like a shark in water, sensing blood, turned up their defensive intensity and took advantage.
The Dragons win it 65-62. We'll take a look at the Western Division standings. More interest of us right now based upon tonight's play. Miles with that, I think they're going to be solidly number 1 in the West. They'll have that bye in the West. But Tuskegee, with this loss tonight, it's going to depend on what happens with Kentucky State and Central State. And remember now that the Tuskegee's played Central State once in the regular season. They defeated them up there. And then Kentucky State, they played at Kentucky State and beat them there as well. So if it comes down to these teams being bunched and tied, then Tuskegee will get it by the tie break. But what you want to do is you want to stay in those top 4, Central State, Kentucky State, Tuskegee, and we know Miles is already there. So you would stay in that top 4, you at least get a chance to host that first round here inside Chappie James to give yourself a chance with some momentum going into Atlanta.
I think more important for Tuskegee, now you find out who the leaders of your team are. You've got to circle the wagons. You've had 2 really difficult losses in a row. Now the thing is, what do you have to do to get this team back on track to close games out? It's not like they're being blown out.
Correct.
They're playing close games that they're losing within the last 5 minutes. So there's some type of fatal flaw on offense and perhaps defense that they've got to correct. But what was interesting about Lane, they just went bigger. Once they went 6'8", 6'11" off the bench, Tuskegee had no one to help out inside.
Yeah, absolutely right, particularly after Draper fouled out, but that was late in the ball game. But your point's well taken. Once they got that size advantage on the inside, they were able to go in second chance shots, and that was the difference in this ball game. So Golden Tigers fall 65-62 to the Dragons of Lane College. Golden Tigers back in action on Saturday but out west at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, when they meet the Maroon Tigers in the HBCU Classic from there.
Well, perhaps the trip out west will help clear up some of the fog that's over this squad. Sometimes a change of scenery helps things out. They'll go from the fog tonight into the fog of San Francisco.
Yeah. I figured that's where you were working with that reference. We'll see what the change of scenery does for the Golden Tigers on Saturday. We'll be there with the coverage on GTSN. We'll have audio only, but that will be from the Chase Center in San Francisco on Saturday. A reminder that the women on Saturday are on the road playing the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State, and the teams will rejoin each other at Central Ohio at Wilberforce on Monday and Tuesday. The men don't get back until Monday. They'll play on Tuesday. So I get to stay up in Ohio for a couple of extra days waiting on the men to get back.
Well, you have a good time up there.
Yeah. Not so good of a time for the Golden Tigers tonight. The men fall 65-62, but the good news here from Chappie James is on the winning side. Golden Tigers take it to 9 in a row. They win it over the Lady Dragons 59-51. And take it to 9 in a row as they get set for the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State. That'll do it for our coverage. My friend Mark Lassiter, great call from you. Enjoy working with you as usual.
Great being here. Enjoy Chappie James as always.
Special thanks to President Mark Brown, Chief Operating Officer Rolandes Rice, Director of Athletics Reginald Ruffin, Deputy Director of Athletics Deborah Rogers, Tanya Lee and Stefan Smith in Communications and Marketing Department, Jordan Benson across the way here inside the arena as Sports Information Director, Nick Brown to his right. Thank you for the work that you all do here at Tuskegee. And special thanks to you all for joining us and listening to us on GTSN. And a big thanks and shout out to the GTSN production crew who provided the coverage for this ballgame. Great shots on camera and good production throughout the night. That'll do it for our coverage here. Charles Ward on behalf of everybody here with GTSN saying thanks so much for joining us and have a good night. This has been a presentation of GTSN.